Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. My name is Keisha with Isaac K Creations, and in this video I am sharing my contribution to either this or that sewing series, sewing edition that's been going around on YouTube for the last couple of weeks. And I want to thank Tequila B of True Love Designs for tagging me in this fun series. I've been listening and watching everyone else do this video, and I have been wanting to do one, had not had much time to get one done, but I thought I would go ahead and jump right in. So if you're interested in hearing my contributions to the this or that series, the sewing edition, continue to stay tuned. So a little bit about this series. So basically, the sewists in the community are sharing their different preferences on all things sewing related. They are talking about their preferences for sewing preparations, fabric choices, construction choices, and I think the other piece of this was sewing habits. So in this video, I'm going to be touching base on all of these areas of this or that. And I want to apologize right now because I am actually sitting outside of my daughter's volleyball practice, and there might be some parents and some cars and honking of horns at some point. But just know if you hear that, I do apologize well in advance, because I am outside trying to get this done as I can, as quickly as I can. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first category, sewing preparation, new or stash. I am really trying to work on my stash, but I do realize that many other patterns I want to sew here lately, or I've been thinking about getting to, they do require different types of fabric that I don't actually have in my stash. Specific colors I'm looking for, I don't really have in my stash. So while my preference is stash, I feel like I need to go for the new, but if I have to have a preference and a choice, I would say stash. PDF or paper. I am definitely a paper person. I am into paper patterns. I like the idea of cutting and pasting and getting a PDF together, but it takes time. And I really haven't ventured out yet to understand how to do the PDF plotting that I hear a lot of the different sews doing in the community. So right now for me, it's definitely all about the paper, PDF later. Cutting or tracing. I have done both. I've traced a pattern. I've traced several patterns actually, and I have just cut into one or two. But my preference is to trace, because I feel like if I trace the pattern, I still have it for later, since I'm still learning some of the techniques and some of the different skills in sewing. I do feel like there is some value for me to trace my patterns to have them for use later. Not to mention, if I need other sizes in that pattern, I don't have to go out and actually purchase the pattern, although they are like $1.99, $5.99. That does add up, so I'm trying to do as much tracing right now as I possibly can. Muslin or go for it. I like the idea of muslin, however, that is a lot more time consuming. I have not done a muslin or a test pattern or a test pattern yet, so I am right now in a space where I am doing a lot of just going for it. Like, I'll just get the pattern, I'll trace it, and I'll just go ahead and go for it. No muslin. All right, so second category is all about the fabric. So in store or online. I love going in the store, looking and touching the fabric. It's something about seeing those vibrant colors in person and touching that fabric and stretching it and taking it, just all the things, just putting my hands on it. I just love it. I have purchased online before, a couple of times actually. I've had some success there, some not so great successes, but for the most part, I definitely enjoy going in the store, touching, feeling, testing it out. I love all that. Knits or wovens. I am definitely a wovens person. I think because when I first started learning to sew some years ago, I first learned to sew with a woven fabric, and I am learning how to sew with knits. I understand that they are a lot easier, they're more forgiving, but for me, it's something about the structure that comes in a woven. I just feel like I have more control of the fabric in the machine, and it's just more I feel for myself, it's just easier to work with a woven versus a knit. So definitely a woven. Tumble dry or hang dry. I really haven't done any hang dry, so I would say tumble dry. I put a lot of my stuff in the dryer. I probably shouldn't, but I do. My things typically don't get ruined, so I am definitely a tumble dry person. Rotary cutter or scissors. Definitely a rotary cutter. I have so much more control with a rotary cutter than I do with scissors. I have plenty of brands of scissors, plenty types of scissors, but I always go to my rotary cutter. So I am a rotary cutter person. All right, so next up is clothing construction. So follow the instructions or wing it. I definitely follow the instructions. I can't afford to do a whole lot of winging right now because I'm still learning. However, there are times, or have been times, when I may have not understood an instruction and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and hack this. I'm going to hack it and wing it how I know to do it. But I do definitely prefer following the instructions on the patterns. Bias tape or facing. I don't know how to answer this one. I guess I would say bias tape. I haven't done much facing, so I think I would say bias tape. I did bias tape a couple years ago, and I did a burping cloth, or was it burping cloth? No, it was a blanket. I'd use bias tape to clean up the edges of the blanket, and that worked out pretty well. So I would probably say bias tape. Serge seams or French seams. I have not done a French seam, don't even know how a French seam looks, so I need to do some research on that. So definitely serge. I have a serger, and I have serged plenty of seams here lately, so I am definitely a serger of the seams. Button fly or zip fly. I have not done any fly. I have not done pants yet, but I think if I were to do them, I would probably lean more towards a zip fly because I have done zippers before. I have not done buttons, so I'm gonna say if I had a choice, I would probably go for a zip fly first. Hand sewn buttons or machine sewn. I have hand sewn plenty of buttons before. I have not done any buttons yet on my machine, so I'm going to say hand sewn buttons. Fusible interface or sew-in. Definitely fusible is far more easier for me. I can just get that iron, put that facing on, and bam, bam, it's done. No sewing of the interface. Snip as you go or all at once. I am definitely one to snip as I go. I do not like to see a bunch of threads hanging around. I don't want to see it drives me crazy. It gets overwhelming. It's too much. I don't want to see threads everywhere. So I like to snip as I go. A nice clean make as I move it along in my machine, and I do all that great stuff. Pressing as I go or all at once. I am definitely one to press as I go. I don't like to press all at once. I press a seam. I do a seam, I press a seam. That's how I do. Now I do press my seams as I go along, and I also do one final press at the very end, but definitely press as I go. Okay guys, so final category, sewing habits. This will be fun. So late night or daytime. I think that just depends on the week, honestly. Like on the weekdays, obviously I'm sewing later at night. I'm working and kids, dinner, and things of that sort. On the weekends, I might do it during the daytime or in the evening. But if I had to do it this or that, I would probably say late night. Slow and steady or frantic. Definitely a slow and steady. I do not sew frantically. Like, that's not me. I like to take my time, read instructions, fill things out. I'm definitely a slow and steady. I try to get something done fast. I would like to be able to speed up my process a little bit, but I'm not there. I'm just a slow and steady sewer, and I'm okay with that. And then finally, tidy as you go or one big cleanup. As you probably heard me reference earlier, messes get overwhelming for me, so I'm definitely one to tidy as I go. I do not want to wait until the last minute to do any type of cleanup. I need to clean up as I go along.
Hey guys.
All right, everybody. So thank you for watching my video. And I'm sorry I got my little sidekick here. She's sitting with me waiting for her big sister to finish out her volleyball practice. But I hope that you all enjoyed my video and me sharing my edition of this or that, the sewing edition. And until next time, God bless.
God bless.
Just before I go, tag, you're it.